What's going on, everybody? This is Brian Mazik, aka Unique Mazik, the hardest working man in sports and gaming. And we got to talk about the NBA playoffs, specifically Tuesday night's results. The Portland Trail Blazers eliminating the Oklahoma City Thunder in 5 games. I know everybody's already seen it. The amazing shot by Damian Lillard to cap off a 50-point performance and to eliminate the Oklahoma City Thunder from the first round of the playoffs in 5 games. Now, we can talk about Dame. I'm going to talk about Dame later. I'm going to talk about Dame in another video. I think he deserves his own video. But I want to talk about Paul George specifically, right? First and foremost, let me say this. I am a Paul George fan, right? I am even to a degree, I'm even a Russell Westbrook fan. You may not believe me after you get through watching this video, but I am, right? But I think that it is absolutely clear that Paul George made the wrong decision by going to by staying with the Oklahoma City Thunder. I think it's really clear at this point, and I'm going to tell you why. I believe that Russell Westbrook has been exposed. Now, you might laugh at that. Like, you might have immediately started to giggle when you heard me say that, because you're like, how in the world could a dude who just averaged a triple-double for the third consecutive season been exposed? Well, I think what has happened is the triple-doubles have somewhat blinded us to something that we pretty much have already known about Russell Westbrook for a long time. Russell Westbrook does not have a style of game that is conducive for winning especially deep into the playoffs, right? And what I think we saw in this particular series is when he is going up against a more composed and talented and equally as aggressive and vicious style point guard who can match his intensity. Russell Westbrook is the one who ends up getting the shorter end of the stick. He went head to head against Damian Lillard, and Damian Lillard outplayed him just about in every single game. Just about in every single game. So we're talking about Paul George, and Paul George, the biggest reason, it's no secret, the biggest reason that Paul George chose to stay with Oklahoma City was because of Russell Westbrook. Westbrook has a charisma with his teammates that is undeniable. He gets people to stick with him. He gets people to ride with him, right? Because critics and things and people can say whatever they want to say about Russell Westbrook, but his teammates seem to love him almost universally, right? But not everybody that teammates love is the guy who is most conducive for winning. That might be your bro, or that might be the guy who you take into the trenches if you got into a fight, or if you needed help with your family or what have you. And that's all that stuff is really valuable. But is this the best teammate for you? And I think that's the choice that Paul George made. And I think he was wrong. Russell Westbrook will not allow himself to be coached. Billy Donovan, as good of a coach as Billy Donovan, I don't even think we really know 100% how good a coach Billy Donovan can really be, because he's scared to coach the most impacting player that he has. There is no way in the world that Billy Donovan believes in the style of basketball that Russell Westbrook plays. There's nothing in his past. There's nothing in his history or his experience as a basketball player and a coach that would lend you to believe that he signs off on the way that Russell Westbrook plays. You know what the problem is with Russell Westbrook? And I've said this before. I've said it in several different situations. Russell Westbrook is what you call a trap player. Okay. He is one of those guys who is too effective for you to really question strongly. Like, how do you step to the dude who's averaging a triple-double, who athletically and from an intensity standpoint can do things that most point guards cannot do, like most players cannot do? How do you step to a guy who shows up physically in fantastic shape, getting ridiculously strong throughout his core, across his shoulders, that allows him to play this really physical style game that he wants to play, but he's constantly attacking? And then on top of that, like I said, he's averaging a triple double. He's scoring. He's doing these things, but he's not doing any of it efficiently. Right? He's not doing any of it efficiently. So he's a trap player because you get caught watching him, right? And you start asking yourself, well, man, I know everything about basketball that teaches me there's no way in the world somebody's going to be able to win playing the way Russell Westbrook plays. Like a point guard who plays this way. There's no there's no past reference. There's nothing you can point to. There's nothing you can reach back to in the history of basketball that says, "Oh, there's a player like Russell Westbrook, and he was able to win championships." And it's not just the triple doubles; it's the way he's getting them. Magic got triple doubles, but he didn't get them shooting 55 million times from the field. He didn't get them shooting at such a low percentage that Russell Westbrook shoots. He didn't get them that way. Jason Kidd wasn't a great shooter, especially early in his career, but Jason Kidd worked to be a better three-point shooter. And again, he didn't shoot the ball nearly as much as Russell Westbrook from the point guard position, right? It is time. We heard something. I heard something last night on NBA on TNT, and I can't remember which one said it, but someone said it was either Barkley or Kenny Smith. It might even have been Shaq. Said it is time for Russell Westbrook to come off the point guard position. But who's going to pull him off? Billy Donovan? Billy Donovan can't get Russell Westbrook to do anything. So and this is what Paul George signed up for, though. This is what he signed up for. Russell Westbrook's a trap player because he's too effective to really question, to stringently criticize him because he has too much individual success. But none of that individual success has proven to lead his team to a higher level. None of it had the horrible shooting numbers. The worst part about Russell Westbrook this year is the fact that the free throw for shooting has dropped so much, because it used to be, okay, well, he's not that efficient, right, from the floor in terms of shooting, but he gets to the line a lot because he's so physical, he's so strong, he's so athletic. Well, he's getting to the line now and he's making under 70% of his free throws. So across the board, this is a bad year. And we look at, okay, well, the guy's averaging 10.5, 10.6 rebounds a game. He's a point guard. How much value is there really in that, though, for your point guard to literally be taking the ball out of your big's hands? Anybody knows anything about basketball, bigs need to touch the ball. Even if they're not doing things off of it, they're not getting their all, they need to touch the ball. It keeps them feeling involved in the game, right? Westbrook is looking for his stats. I know he says he does not care about triple doubles, but I've learned in my life and over 40 years on this planet, you don't listen to what people say, you watch what they do. And if you watch what Russell Westbrook does, everything about his actions says that he does care about stats. He does care about triple doubles. He wants that stat. It's what separates him. It's what makes him special. And Russell Westbrook wants to be special. And back to Paul George, this is what he signed up for. He signed up because he bought into the Russell Westbrook Kool-Aid. He said, I believe that guy is a guy I can win with. He's cool. He's my guy. We talk, we ride. That's my dog. I'm from Fresno. I'm from the LA area. I'm saying, I'm speaking in Paul George, in his mind. He's from Fresno. He's from the LA area. I grew up a Lakers fan, but you know what? I believe in Russell Westbrook so much that I am going to ride with him. I'm going to stay with him, regardless of the fact that my team, just the team I grew up rooting for, just got the greatest player of this generation for the most part. They just got him, right? And I could easily go here and I could easily play with this guy. And I'm already knowing, if I play with this guy, that we're going to have one of the best teams in the NBA, just off of the fact of it's LeBron and Paul George, right? I think that Paul George would be the perfect Robin to LeBron's Batman. You know why? Because Paul George does not have a ridiculous ego. He understands that he seems like the type of guy who would be understanding of some of the way. some of the ways that LeBron is. Because with any superstar, you have to understand their ego. You have to understand everybody can't play alongside a great player, a truly great player. Not everybody could have been Scottie Pippen. Because to be Scottie Pippen, you had to be extremely talented, but you had to be willing to defer to the greatest player that ever played. This is Michael Jordan. He's going to take the majority of these shots. He's number one. I gotta fill in number two. I gotta be that guy, right? Not everybody could have been James Worthy. James Worthy was a phenomenal player who could have scored a lot more points than he did, but he had to defer because I play with Magic freaking Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Not everybody can do that. Paul George is the type of player who can be great within his own right, great in his own way, and still say, I play with another great player. He's really proven it by his willingness to play and come back and play with Russell Westbrook. He could have done that with LeBron. And if you ask me, if you look at the Lakers, if you look at their roster, now obviously they were destroyed by injuries this year. People can say what they want about LeBron failing and they didn't make the playoffs, blah, blah, blah. Fact of the matter is the Lakers were a fourth seed when LeBron got hurt. After he got hurt is when things fell apart. Okay. If the Lakers are healthy and you got Paul George on that team with the young talent Kyle Kuzma and with Brandon Ingram and with Josh Hart and with a healthy Rajon Rondo. Of course, he got hurt. You never know. Obviously, when Paul George made this decision, he didn't know guys were going to get hurt. If you got that squad, to me, there's no way in the world. We're talking about a top 3, 4 seed in the West who has a chance in the postseason to beat anybody. Now, does anybody ever look at the Thunder with Russell Westbrook playing the way he's playing and truly believe that they have a chance to beat anybody? Like not anybody in any team in the NBA, but I mean the best teams in the league. Who believes that? Who sits up and watches a Russell Westbrook team and thinks that? And it's crazy. Like I said, I like Russell Westbrook. I think that he is a dog. From a heart standpoint, you cannot have a bigger heart than Russell Westbrook. You cannot. You cannot. He comes out hard. But the issue is he plays hard, but he does not play smart. And he is so freaking stubborn, so stubborn that you're not going to get him to change anything. You're not going to get it. And by the time he might be quote unquote willing to change, he's not going to be the same guy physically. Quiet as kept, he's already not the same guy physically. Look at the numbers. Look at how his numbers have dipped for 2 consecutive years. Look at them. Look at the shooting percent. Look at the free throw percentage. Look at all of these numbers. They are systematically falling. Russell Westbrook's on the downside, bro. Not to say that LeBron isn't. Obviously, LeBron's an older player. But if we take a look at who's aging the best from a production standpoint and from an efficiency standpoint, does LeBron suck on defense 75% of the time because of a lack of effort? You bet he does. You bet he does. So I'm not trying to paint LeBron as a perfect player, but that was a better situation in every way, shape, or form for Paul George than staying in Oklahoma City. And I think we're seeing right now, without a doubt, he made a mistake. I had to jump on and talk to you guys about that. That's all I got for this particular subject. But you stay tuned in. If you haven't subscribed, please do. If you haven't liked, please do. I got a couple more bombs to drop. Every once in a while, I got to drop a bomb and through the middle of the day and just let y'all know what some of the things that's on my mind. And right about now, I know 100%, no doubt in my mind, Paul George made the wrong decision.